嗨，大家好，我是 Jack。今天我们非常荣幸能够邀请到 WTRP 创办人的先生，同时也是 WTRP 所有设计理念的总监 Danny Donahue 到我们现场。Welcome, Danny.
大家好，Thank you， 谢謝。
Wow, good Chinese.
No,
let's do this interview in Chinese.
我的中文不好。
真的吗？
No, don't do that. I must be English. Sorry, I still can't communicate well in Chinese.
Just teasing. All right.
Yeah, all right.
Okay, first question for you. What is the Wang Taiwan Record Prize? What is it?
Yeah, so Wang Taiwan Record Prize started out as a great idea that Christy, my wife, she had. She was looking at the Tokyo Olympics. He didn't end up getting an actual Olympic medal. However, he was there. He's the best of Taiwan. And then when she found out, like, wait a minute, he doesn't get anything. And then she's like, you know what? We need to help the people, not only who are just getting the medals on the world platform, but what about the first timers, the ones who first achieve something?
That's right.
And then I'm like, you know what, Christy? Why don't you take it to your trust, like her cousins and family? You know, why don't you talk to them about this? I think people will really be interested in what. And then she brought it in was December of last year.
Yeah.
To the board, they're like, wow, we love this project. This is a great idea. This will be a perfect timing to give an award to the athletes representing Taiwan. We talked about some different names. Well, we have this like big, long legal name in Chinese or foundation or something. I'm like, well, that's not going to work. Like, we have to have something short, something catchy, something that I can make a logo with, right?
王杨娇体育赛事创纪录奖。
I'm not going to repeat that. So, and then I'm like, you know what? If we have Taiwan Wang, and I'm like, no, Wang Taiwan sounds better. Okay. And then it's all about making the record, right? So I'm like, and we need to give a prize for it. So record prize. So I'm like, wait a minute, we can use the acronym. So the trophy, what are we going to give out? We're just going to give like a medal, but the important thing is the prize money that we're going to give. So I want to give enough money that this is serious. People take it seriously, and it can really help the athlete.
That's right.
It's not just like representative. It is enough money that will get them through at least a year or who knows how long, and they can maybe hire a better coach, go to a different training place, use that money to get even better. We need to give something that really represents this is a big achievement that they've been able to do. They're number one of a whole country. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
We should celebrate that.
Yeah.
And then she's like, oh, but what kind of award? I don't know. Where do I buy an award? I'm like, you know what? I'll design it. And then I literally, at night, just this idea came. I'm like, okay, all these individual athletes, they're rising up, they're one by one going to achieve. I'm like, you know what? Why don't I just draw single lines going up the steps of achievement to get the final award and be number one? And that's where the trophy idea came from. And then, of course, when I design something, I always, color is very important to me. Numbers of things, the shapes of things, all of those things has to have a meaning. So my principle with design is if something needs to be said, it needs to have something representing it. And if it doesn't need to be said, you remove that, and that's how you can have a clean design. But every line, everything has a certain meaning.
Yeah, that's very important. So you designed the logo, and then the next day, the project started?
Yeah, pretty much. That's what happened. And I think it was like the end of March or April that I actually designed the trophy. And then in May, we were already doing the media press conference announcing it.
Yeah.
So I remember it was just like a very short period of time. And I do have a day job too, right? So we have a startup with a beauty robotics company, and I'm doing all the product design and things like that. So actually at home at night, I dedicate 2 hours every day to study. That was something that I just do my whole life. I'm like, I'm gonna get my study time and just dedicate it to WTRP, and every night when I come back, I'll do more on the design, right? So, and that's how the design started getting developed. And my crazy ideas and actually make it happen, right?
So you sacrificed every day 2 hours by not learning Chinese, but designing for WTRP.
Right. Yeah. Of course, this is something I'm dedicating my time, because this is something, you know, my wife is here from Taiwan. My 2 little girls are here in Taiwan. Taiwan is something really special to me now, and it's my home. And it's if there is something that can be done to better it and you don't do it, how much regret would I have? That's the way I think about it, you know? It's like, wait, this is something I can do. This is right down my alley. This is something I can support my wife with. This is something that it's just very dear to me. And it's inspiring so many people. You already see it just take off, and everyone is trying to help. Including even you guys, ORTV, you know, everyone is kind of chipping in to make this happen. And it's wonderful to see that. And good projects that many people sponsor a project to get their company recognition or to get famous or something like that. The idea about this is just pure and simple love. It's love for the athletes, love for Taiwan, love for recognizing and trying to prop up, trying to be a pillar of support to the wonderful people here in Taiwan and the people who can achieve what others can't, right? So what better way to, you know, to help Taiwan than in a way that I know how, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So I was talking to the athletes and their coach last month, and they really appreciated WTRP for what it's doing for the athletes that are not winning on the podiums. So it's a huge motivation for them.
Wow, that's so nice to hear this feedback. There's award money that will definitely help the athletes go forward. But more than that, it's about giving recognition. Recognizing the feats that they already have done, and that encouragement, it builds up a fire inside you. So the idea is not just give value and money, but also awareness, right? If we can do something to have more people know about them. That's why the YouTube channel, we created that to try to give more support, have more people know about it. Who knows, the athlete might even get sponsored.
That's right.
Going forward. And one thing leads to another, one step at a time, right?
So the design of the WTRP trophy is very special. Can you introduce it to us?
All right.
Yeah.
Drum roll. Dun, 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 dun. All right. So let me get in here.
Wow. And you said this is handmade.
Yeah.
This is handmade. 手做的.
So, wow. Yeah, so this trophy, this was actually drawn. I drew it by hand before even doing the logo.
Yeah.
So the design of the trophy was that imagine every athlete represented by its own pillar. This is individual sports, so I wanted each one to be individual. But when they come together, they form the country of Taiwan.
Oh, wow. Look at that. Wow. Wow, that's amazing.
And this symbolism is what gives this design its simplicity, but its power, right? And then actually I was awarded two patents, a design patent and also utility patent for this trophy, because so here we actually have a medal and a trophy. That's part of the award, but this separates.
Wow.
And then you can wear it around your neck, right? Now, this has the individual name of the athlete, the sport, and the year that they won. Even though it's an individual award, when it comes together to the rest of the country, that's what forms the trophy. And this is on magnets, so it can easily be placed.
Wow.
So then a trophy is now personalized with each individual award with the name and the athlete. So the symbolism here, let's turn around here so we can see the country of Taiwan here. Now, I was trying to, when I was designing this, I was thinking of the individual pillars for the athletes, right? And then I keep filling in, so I got the island of Taiwan, I made a drawing of the island.
Yeah.
And then I filled it in with just round circles and a 2D image representing each of the athletes, filling in making the design of Taiwan. So this is actually from a real map from the main island.
Yeah.
I know Taiwan has many islands, but obviously I can't put everything, right? So it was the main island. And then I noticed that every time I drew it, there was, 113. And then I'm like, wait a minute, isn't that like, that's the year of Taiwan? I'm like, what better symbolism to have than something that is unique to Taiwan? What other country has the year 113? The founding year of WTRP. So then by having 113 pillars, now the year that the project is created and the project has started now will always be memorialized in the design of the trophy too.
Wow.
So we need to do this from the foundry, from the earth of Taiwan. This needs to be a metallurgic process that we actually melt the metal.
Yeah.
We actually make it into these molds and these individual. So each one is an individual size, by the way.
Wow.
This isn't something that you can just get a standard pole and stick it there. And actually a tool was developed so that each individual one from the bottom gets screwed in, and then the top, a special tool has to be held so that they could all face in the same direction. So there's so many details that went to doing this. It's like a simple design, but there's a lot of love, and each one will be numbered too, because each one is handmade. They'll only be made the amount of that are given out.
It says 00/00. So this is the prototype.
This is the prototype. That's correct. I think these kind of effort that goes into it shows also not only how serious we are about this project, but also the amount of time shows the amount of love. And the amount of care that we have for the people here. This is a lot of effort. And a lot of people are working very hard just to have this done. And then there's something just symbolic when you can have a piece of Taiwan in your hand that was like ore, right? Mineral ore, and then gets smelted into like an aluminum nickel metal. I don't even know the full process. And then it's poured into the mold, and then you make it, and then the hand polishing, and then the coating. It's just such a time-intensive process. And some people would say, oh, that's not worth it. How do they say in Chinese? 很忙.
很麻烦.
麻烦.
很麻烦.
That's it. 很麻烦.
很麻烦.
Yes, that's it. So someone had also told me, it's like, oh, 很麻烦, just buy a little trophy and give it to them. I'm like, no, this is part of the symbolism of their effort to achieve.
That's right.
Is what we can give back with our effort to design and to create.
Just imagine how much time they spend to get what they're right now. To get what they are right now.
So literally hundreds of hours goes into making each trophy.
Yeah.
So although it seems like a small number, 25, it actually takes months to make. This part here, it's heavy, but you can take this part off. And then there's a base, so it can set up. At the bottom, I have my name signed.
You did?
Yeah.
Wow.
So each trophy has my name signed on it. Yeah.
DD.
Yeah, DD. So what Chinese character is that?
多.
Yeah. So let me tell you something interesting. My Chinese name is Duo Dan Yu. I know it's not a normal name to have,
No,
right? But Danny Donahue, Duo Dan Yu, it sounds a little bit like Donahue. But also something very interesting. The first time I saw the character Duo when I was here in Taiwan, I'm like, what is that character? And someone said, oh, Duo, why? I'm like, that's exactly how I've signed my name since I was 8 years old.
Oh, no way.
Danny Donahue, D. And it actually forms the character of Duo. So when they said one time to pick my Chinese name, I'm like, I don't know what the rest is going to be, but it has to be Duo as my last name. So Duo Dan Yu is my Chinese name.
So creating something from scratch is quite difficult, as we know.
Yeah.
So what experience do you have to make you a design expert?
I started pretty young. I went to film arts college, actually. I grew up in in international boarding schools in Brazil. I got into producing TV commercials. And then from there, I kept seeing in the TV commercials that the product wasn't good, the design wasn't good, and they were trying to have us fix it up in video, like, hey, just make this look as good as possible. I'm like, why don't you make it good from the beginning?
Yeah, that's right.
And then make a long story short, that's how I got into publicity and then advertising when I was 21. And then I started designing for different brands, commercial design, right?
Yeah.
And again, commercial design is a little bit different than just like artistic design, because with commercial design, everything you design have to have a purpose. In fact, my rule of thumb is like, if there's no meaning to that line, get rid of it. By 23, I had already won the promotion award in Brazil for the best promotion item for the year. And then my design started getting recognized. Right after that, actually Coca-Cola asked me, they're like, hey, can you open an advertising agency?
Yeah.
And we'll be your first customer. And I'm
right.
like, wow, that was amazing. So as far as branding though goes, Coca-Cola is the best. That time that I was able to spend with them, the years I was there, they were as my client, but I'm learning from them their standards, their procedures. So then I was able to really get that very professional experience. All these different things with these big companies allow me to have that experience of what actually works on the market. It's a passion, and I'm just so glad I can do this for Taiwan, to help Taiwan.
So now you're working hard to prepare for the award ceremony on December 23rd.
Yes.
And we see that even the invitations are sophisticately designed. Please tell us a little more about the coming big event.
So here we have a view of the envelope this is for the invitation.
Yeah.
So this is something that when they receive it, this has the seal, and this will have a real wax emblem, right?
Yeah.
So a mold was made with a special stamp, right? So that we can stamp when they receive the award.
Very cool.
And then when you open it, here, this is the actual invitation card. So,
like a presidential invitation.
So this I actually drew by hand. So I don't know if you noticed the location, Humble House in Xingyi. You can see the 101 in the background.
Yeah.
And that's the actual location of the WTRP award. I went there to the location to kind of just look at it, try to get inspired. What design will I have in the invitation? I'm like, you know what? This place itself is so iconic. Why don't I just draw this? So I just took a photo and then went back home and did a drawing.
Yeah.
And then using different printing techniques, I actually went to the print shop, found the right paper, and then the different inks you put on different layers. There's a mold that's made so that the invitation letters on the bottom, for example, if you look on the back, you'll see that it's like pressed out.
Yeah.
That's actually like a knife. It's a custom thing, and they press it into the paper, right? And then a layer of ink is put over it, and then another layer of clear varnish is put over it. So this is actually like 5 processes.
So much detail.
Yeah, to get that done. And then you have a process of the drawing of the black part, and then another layer of the gold.
Yeah.
Now, even the gold, it not only symbolizes the actual location of where the event will take place this year, but if you notice the windows on the building, right above it, there's 25 windows for the 25 winners of the award.
Wow.
So this is why I like to put Easter eggs of symbolism into all my drawings. Right? So, and you'll see that if you move the card, there's 24 for the 24 trophies that we're giving out, also for the year 2024. And then also it shows on the advertising. In real life, there's that advertising TV, and that's where I put the WTRP award. And if you turn it around, actually like the text and everything, and the paper is also from Taiwan.
Oh, okay.
These are little details that I like to draw with everything. So, and I always remember that from sometimes a gift is not just about buying something or giving money. It's about how much time and effort you put into something as part of the gift.
Amen to that.
There's always a good story to something that's good. There's always something behind it. So dive into it a bit. You don't have to dive into everyone, just dive into the few things. If there's one thing that you like, dive into that, see why you like it. As soon as you don't do things on just a superficial level, you'll start understanding the reason why. In whatever field you're doing, if you dive deep and become a specialist, you actually will become successful.
Very well said. Very well said. Well, thank you so much, Danny, for all the things you do for the athletes here in Taiwan.
I hope I inspire many more people, and I'm inspired for this project too. I really think it's a wonderful project and can help a lot of people. So I'm really excited.
Yeah. Again, thank you.
Thank you.
And thanks your wife, Christy,
Yeah.
for doing such meaningful thing for the young athletes here in Taiwan.
Yeah,
Thank
she's
you.
amazing, and she really has a passion to help. It's really so amazing to see. Of course, you know, she's my wife, right? But no, I'm not just helping because she's my wife. I really believe in this project. I really think it's something that's realistic to do to help people in Taiwan, to motivate people. Sometimes that's all you need, a little bit of encouragement, a little bit of motivation, and you can take it further. And she'll be announcing further projects that WTRP has for the coming years.
All right.
So this is
Look
just
forward to it.
just the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Taiwan is blessed to have you and Christy here.
Wow,
Thank
thank
you
you so
again.
much. I'm honored.